Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for when you come to them. For the tarot portion, I'm going to use the Idyllis Tarot, which is a smaller deck, but it's easy to shuffle, and I like the images on it. It is an Omnido. That's the creator, Omnido. There's this information with the what do we call it? I can't. My brain is not telling me what that's called, but put your camera thing on that or push that button, however that works, and you can find it. There's also the information there. I believe that they're just on Instagram. I found this deck on Amazon, I want to say. So if you're interested, go ahead and check that out. The oracle cards I'm going to use for this one is the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. The website, where is Sandra's website? I want to say she has her own website, but here's the Hay House website on the bottom, just below her picture. And I thought she had her own, maybe I'm mistaken. But I thought there was more websites. Maybe not. Oh, there they are. A bunch of Hay House websites. There they are, at the bottom. Okay, and last but not least, the dice I use a 21-sided dice for the major arcana, which does omit the Fool, but I make it work. And I believe that one is from this website, Tom Anders, and there's the information there if it focuses. If it's easier, here's another one of those. My brain cannot remember what you call that thing, but there it is. For the minor arcana, I use a 14-sided dice to choose the actual card, and then a 4-sided dice to choose the element. And the 14-sided dice came from here. I've had the 4-sided dice for the longest time. I couldn't tell you where they came from. I want to say it was Math Art Fun. Can't really see it here. Hopefully you can see it. mathartfun.com. All right, and that's what we have for that. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much, and let's go on to your read. Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Virgo? Ooh. Let's get them all out before we get too excited. Okay, wait, get them all out. I'm like tempted to just start because I'm seeing good things, but I'm like, let's get through the whole thing first. There's a lot going on around you with whatever this is. Can we the whole deck? Like the whole deck? Do we need the whole deck out? Why would that? You got a lot of good cards. You got the Two of Cups. You got the Lovers coming out. This doesn't have to be a love reading, by the way. But it's definitely something that means a lot to you. A lot going on around this situation. There's people around this situation that are just a little bit different. We're going to say different to start and see where that goes. I find this interesting. There's something you would like. There's something here you would like. And I also see yourself kind of like with dreams and justice in the same spot. And this does make sense for me for Virgo. You don't let yourself dream about things that couldn't actually happen. And I feel like Virgo tends to go towards things like to actually make things happen. This could even say when I see dreams here that you could be literally having dreams about this situation. And things that they're trying to like highlight, like they're trying to like bring forward, like, Virgo, you do actually want this. They're trying to they're like, you do know you want this, right? Like this is what you're looking for. Something like that. Does not have to be a romance thing at all. It could be a connection with another person. Could be a friendship, a platonic friendship. Could be a business connection where, you want to believe that you can trust somebody and that, the effort put in is going to be honored and rewarded as necessary. Could be something like that. there's a conflict here internally. I feel like that dreams card makes conflict here. Because I don't think of Virgo as letting themselves dream about something too much. And it's kind of like, if the opportunity comes forward, I just need to move forward on it. But also, Virgo's not one to kind of like play the odds in this type of situation. If something happens, if something does come my way, though, I would like to make it happen. But I don't know if that's the smart thing to do, but I would like to do it. There's internal conflict, kind of like, yeah, if things go my way, I would like to like make that happen. But at the same time, Virgo's not one to leave it up to chance on this type of situation. So it's kind of like, I would like to do that, but that's not my way. But I would like to do that, but it's not my way. And I keep getting this conflict of energy. There's something with this situation, the same situation, that you're not aware of. Okay. See what we got. There's a lot of good cards. Are there really any bad cards here? Not for you. Maybe for other people, but not for you. Queen of Pentacles. That's a Virgo. That's a Virgo. That would work for Virgo. The Lover's card, kind of like in question, which means was it real? Was it not? I feel like you're looking back and trying to make sense of something in the past with this same situation. Could be a person. Could be a situation. It's something I feel like you really do want, but I'm looking back, whatever back way would be. I'm looking back, and I'm comparing it to the future, and I'm looking back, and I'm comparing it to the future, and I'm just like, where this was, could that really go there? But where this was, could that really go there? Like, could it, though? There's been a lot of healing, and a lot of somebody addressing the truth going on here, which could literally be you. A lot of healing and a lot of addressing of the truth, a lot of spiritual work. When I get these two cards together, there's been a lot of spiritual, a lot of heart work, like trying to make things work out, trying to make sense of things the way they actually were, not in the sense of like not what I wanted them to be, but what they were. I feel like Virgo's very grounded. It's kind of like, yeah, there's this version of what I wanted it to be, but that's not what it was. This is what it was, and this is me going through it and accepting what it was and why it was that way. This is actually, whoever did this, it could be you, it could be somebody else, looked at a situation and actually owned their part of it. This is when you look back and you're like, you know what? I made a couple decisions, and I made them for the reason I made them. And looking back, I'm like, I know things differently now. I wouldn't make those decisions now, but, part of the reasons I wouldn't make those decisions is because of what I did and how I went through it. So I know differently now. I just feel somebody owning their own energy. They're owning like, yeah, you know what? I contributed to that. And it didn't get better until it got worse. And I was a part of that. Could be you, could be somebody else that's just owning it. Just owning it, kind of like, you know what? I have to own that. And has grown tremendously from it. That's a hard one. I feel like whoever did that takes a lot. That's a lot of spiritual soul growth going on there. Because a lot of people either don't deal with it or only deal with it in pieces here and there, which there's no judgment on that. Honestly, there really is no judgment on that. But to get that growth that somebody is really looking for, to get the goal they want, you really have to dig in and own your own piece of it to really have that soul growth to move forward. And sometimes that's really hard to do. And again, there's really no judgment on it, but it's all about where you want to be versus where you are. To get where you want to be, it takes that owning. And somebody did that, either you or somebody else. Somebody did that for the purpose of making things better. And it has succeeded. The truth is about to come out. Literally, the truth card comes out. And an opportunity is coming your way. And I feel like it's very strongly stemming from that moment. Either you or somebody else has done this emotional work and addressed something and owned their piece of it. And that's coming forward and healing a situation, healing a lot of energy for you. This is actually opening the door to a possibility. This is why I also feel like I'm looking at a situation and I'm questioning, from where this was, could it really go there? From where this was, could it really go there? And like, is that realistic? Due to the healing, it is. Due to the healing, it is. Take it with a grain of salt. Of course, these readings are, look at it for yourself, play it out, and test it. I would definitely test it if this is happening in your life, because I see good things coming. I see things coming in very strong and very fast. And somebody this is your card, the Hermit card, but it's showing up in the environment, which I feel like somebody sees you. Like somebody sees you, you know what I mean? Like not just obviously sees you, like, oh, you showed up, look, I can see Virgo. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Like, they're like, Virgo has these attributes. Virgo has these values. Virgo contributes this. Virgo wants this. Like, somebody sees you for the contributions and the desires that you have, and the gifts and the talents. Somebody sees you in that sense. Like, when I say I see somebody, like when you say you see somebody, like you see what they want, who they are, what they contribute, you know, their value. You see their value. Somebody sees your value, sees a lot of your value. This is why it's coming in so quickly. You got the King of Wands coming in with the High Priestess, and it's not bad, but it does give me pause here. Somebody feels like you're owed something. It makes me nervous. It just makes me nervous. Not because it could be very well true. It's not that you're not owed something, but like, that does make me nervous. Why does it make me uncomfortable? Is that going to make Virgo uncomfortable? Like, why? It's like, ooh, like, all right. Like, Virgo does owe, you know, Virgo puts in work and, you know, should be compensated. There's something here that's off. I don't know if it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. 5 of Cups in the Justice reversed. Virgo is owed something. Is it going to be taken from somebody else? Like, I keep feeling this energy, and I feel like they're just giving you a heads up. Pay attention. If somebody is like playing this game, just roll with it. If somebody's playing this game where they owe you something or you're owed something, is it being taken away from somebody else? Because it's not that you don't deserve more. It's not that at all. But is it being taken from someone else? Is it being taken from somewhere else? Because that might create a different type of deficit. I feel like they're saying if somebody's giving you something, look a little closer. Make sure you're okay with it. I feel like Virgo will naturally do that anyway. I really do. Kind of like, where's that coming from and why are you giving it to me? Not that you're not owed it, but like is somebody else paying for this? And why, if that's the case? Because I'm getting like, we're building something here. This is like talking about the structure of where you're going next. This is building you, like you want to build from this. This is something like, okay, you're going to give me something. You're going to give me more. Okay, as long as I can keep it and hold value to it, okay, that's fine. But where is it coming from? We need to know. I feel like you need to know where it's coming from. And this card's popping in here like you're going to get that little inkling, like where did that come from? Where did that come from and why am I getting it? It's not that you shouldn't have more. That has nothing to do with that. I don't think that has anything to do with it. But where's it coming from? We need to know where it's coming from. Look closer on that one. Because if you're not at peace with where it's coming from, you have the ability to rewrite that script a little bit and make everything better. Like, because I feel like if somebody's, like, for example, like if you had 5 kids and you're like, well, this kid didn't have enough, so we're going to take food from this other child that we feel like has too much, and we're going to give it to this other kid. Meanwhile, the other kid is, just because they look like they have too much doesn't mean they have too much. It's kind of like, wait a minute, no. Before we do that, let's make sure everybody has enough, and then, you know, we'll see what we can pull here, and then we'll later on when there's extra later on, then I'll take extra. Like, you know, if there's like 5 sandwiches and 5 kids, every kid should get a sandwich. And just because somebody goes, well, that kid doesn't look like they need a full sandwich, so we'll give them a half, and we'll give Virgo a sandwich and a half. I just feel like that's what I'm looking at. It's kind of like, no. For right now, everybody gets a sandwich. Yes, Virgo should have more. They need more. But let's wait till dinner. And dinner, when, you know, we have enough for like 3 sandwiches for everybody, just to make it simple. If Virgo wants extra, Virgo can have extra then. Because there'll be more than enough to go around. We don't need to take from somebody to make sure this other one has extra. I just keep getting this, like, if you look closer, you'll see it, and I feel like you'll have that ability to say, you know what, not right now. I don't need that extra half a sandwich right now. Let everybody have their sandwich. Let's not do that. And then later, when there's extra, then I'll have some extra. I would like some extra, thank you, when it's appropriate. I feel like they're saying keep an eye on this because you have the ability to keep balance in this situation. Off to the side, I feel like somebody's saying, yeah, but should it be my responsibility to keep balance? I don't know about responsibility, but I am getting that like you'll be happier with the outcome if you do. It's your business. Because I do hear off to the side going, yeah, but why does it have to be my responsibility to keep balance? I feel like it's everybody's responsibility, honestly, to look out for each other. Do what you want with it. I do feel like it's everybody's responsibility to look out for everybody else. You included. People should look out for you, and I really do. Take it where you need to take it, but if you take it that way, you'll be happier with your outcome. So do where you have to go with that. Do where you have to go with it? Sure, do where you have to go with that. Why not? I just went through this whole thing. And I'm seeing the cards are on there, so I don't know. It was there the whole time, but anyway. You want an outcome that you can believe in. And I think that's a big piece of this. Because if you're keeping an eye on it and you're looking out for other people from the get-go like this, that's going to pay back. Maybe not from the exact same person, but other people around are going to be like, that Virgo's a stand-up person. And Virgo looks out for other people. We need to look out for Virgo. And I feel like this creates an energy, an atmosphere where it's like, Virgo has that self-respect to not take too much when it's not appropriate. And we need to look out for Virgo to make sure Virgo has enough too. We got to make sure we look out for Virgo the way Virgo looks out for us. It creates that energy. It creates that community around you. And I think that makes a big deal. Otherwise, because I just talked about this, if we just kind of let it happen and we don't do that, and you don't have to, you can do what you want, it's free will and all that good stuff. Otherwise, you get this Wheel of Fortune energy that starts creating in here, kind of like you have too much today, somebody else lacks. Somewhere down the road, you're going to lack, and somebody else is going to have too much. It balances, like karma will balance on its own. You know what I mean? You'll have too much at some point, and somebody else have too little, and vice versa. Everybody will take their turn, but if you kind of like shut it down, kind of like, no, everybody should have enough to eat every time. So when there's extra, then we'll do that. Then we'll give a little extra out. But, I just feel like you'll create this balance. Otherwise, you end up in this Wheel of Fortune situation, and people are going to walk away. The situation is going to have a shelf life. This situation doesn't have to have a shelf life. Because I get with that's travel. Like, if it goes into this random energy, and it's kind of like it's really good sometimes, it's really not other times, you might be the one actually traveling away from it at some point. Kind of like, what, the up and down doesn't work for me. I don't like that sometimes it's really great, sometimes it's really not. Most of the time it's okay. It doesn't have to be that way. You have the ability to like set this up to the way that you think it should go in that sense, in that flavor that I'm giving there. Now, do you want to give up the extra? I know I just talked about this, but here are the cards that are backing it up. Are you going to want to give up on that extra? Like, I feel like it's one of those days where like, oh, I'm really hungry. I could use an extra half a sandwich. I would love it, especially like if it's your favorite sandwich. Like, it's like, chicken wing sub type deliciousness. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking of at the moment. It's kind of like, oh, but I'd really like that half a sandwich. I'm really hungry. I could really use it. I would really love to have it. It's hard. It's not something you're going to want to give up. I get that with the Four of Cups. You're not going to really want to do that. But again, having that overall energy, the Empress to me flourishes, and don't get caught up in the gender, but they really flourish when they look out for others and themselves. They're included in the others. They look out for themselves just as much as everybody else. And this is like the beginning of that energy. You're setting the tone, you're setting the flavor. Other people are taking your cue on that. And other people are like, Virgo's right. We got to look out for each other. We got to do this correctly. When there's extra, we need to make sure that, Virgo gets some extra because they deserve it. They definitely deserve it. But when appropriate. When appropriate. If you're willing to go that route, there's a lot going on here. I think we're going to have to talk about the environment all by itself. Let's just talk about your story to finish this part up at least, because we've gone on for a while. We have. Things stabilize. Once in a while you're going to be in control, once in a while you're not. There is this little... not everybody is as truthful as they should be. There are some little game playing attributes here. Attributes. like, nothing's perfect. Would you believe it if it was? I mean, not for nothing. Not for nothing. I mean, going forward, you're going to have things stabilize, and sometimes you're going to be like, people are playing it a little bit. They're acting like they don't have enough and they have more than enough, but okay, it's fine. But I'm getting, you can be, even though it's not perfect, you're going to be like, it's as perfect as it's going to get. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, it's not perfect. It's kind of like when you have a good family. Not everybody in the family is the best. But, when everybody pretty much gets along, and, I feel like a lot of you know what I'm talking about. It's like, it's as good as it's going to get. And it's kind of like, that's good. That's perfect. Like, perfect isn't real, but it's as good as it's going to get. I don't know. I feel like you're going to see that a lot more comes out of this situation. You're going to love it. You're going to be very happy with it. Virgo's very realistic. It's kind of like if everything was sticky sweet, shiny, perfect, happy, yay. It's kind of like, oh, there's some BS going on here. I know it maybe it looks all nice, but it's just because I'm not seeing the truth here. It's kind of like, there's some edges. In any great work of art, well, I shouldn't say any, but a lot of great paintings, let's put it that way. There's dark areas, there's light areas, the shadow creates the depth. And there's always some shadow involved there. Like, that's going on. Now, we'll talk about what's going on in the environment, because I said I would, not for nothing. There's a lot going on here. This is what's going on around you in this whole situation. People love you. We know that. There's some rocky things going on here. People want things that they can't necessarily have. There are people here who are kind of stubborn. But with you, ironically, by you stepping forward, if you're willing to do that and kind of like, yes, at some point I want more, but not right now because it's not appropriate. Something about that moment, it really heavily affects somebody else who does not want to give in, somebody else who doesn't want to do that. But when you put your best foot forward and you're like, you know what, it's just not right for me to take it right now. I don't want to take that half a sandwich from that other person. They're hungry too. And yes, I deserve extra, but not right now. And I'll get my extra later. You setting that example and having that fortification of character, okay. That strength of character, I don't know why I said fortification, but there you go. It really does affect this other person really heavily. Kind of like, you know what? Virgo stepped up and did it the right way. I can do it too. It's like you're setting the standard, and it's almost like it really puts a heavy weight on them. Like, I could do this the right way, and I know that Virgo did it the right way. And they're kind of like, I don't want to let people down. I'll do it the right way. It's almost like if you had taken it, they're like, yeah, Virgo deserves it. And since Virgo did it, I'm doing it too. Because Virgo was right. And it's just going to make them more stubborn. You are not responsible for their feelings. Not at all. You're not responsible for how they do it. But this is just kind of like saying by you doing something really good, you do have that effect. You create this positive ripple. That ripple goes out and it comes back in. It goes out and it comes back in. And this is going to be the first place you're going to see that positive ripple. Are you responsible for it? No. But would it make you feel good to realize that your positive motion forward is creating positive motion in other people? Are you responsible for it? No. But it's a positive thing. You could have that effect. I don't know. I know. Sometimes I feel like it's passé to do good things because people have like, it's not my responsibility. No, it's not your responsibility, but wouldn't you feel good to know that your good actions created more good actions? I don't understand why that's not okay. But anyway, we're moving on from it. Do you have to? No. You clearly don't. Should you feel bad about it if you don't? No. I'm not saying you should. But I'm saying you could feel good about it if you do it. Like, there's no reason to not feel good about it if you do it. All this is going on around you. There's other people who are going through a lot of stress. I know I'm harping on this, but here we go. That person, for example, I'm going to use that sandwich analogy. You don't know what they're going through. And somebody taking that half a sandwich from them, even though it's just lunch, that hurts them so much. You have no idea how much that's going to hurt them. So the person who misses out, if you decide to go that way, it's not your responsibility. Somebody else is making that decision, but you don't realize how much that's hurting them. You don't realize how much that's hurting them if you decide to take it too soon. If you decide to balance it out correctly, in a more positive way. Let's do that. That's a better way to put it. I feel like this person is going to know that you're the one that made that decision. And this person is going to, like... I feel like this is somebody, maybe... It's a general read, so take it with a grain of salt. They don't really feel like people look out for them. They might feel like usually they get the crap end of the stick, and it's just like... Maybe they even feel like they deserve it. Or that's just what the life that they have gives them. When you do this... This person will always look out for you because they feel like nobody looks out for them. And the fact that you did it just that one time, you make an ally that I feel like you can't get rid of. I don't know what to say about that, but like as long as you're together or in this connection, this person will like, you know, we got to look out for Virgo because Virgo is an awesome person and I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to stand for it if y'all don't look out for Virgo because Virgo is the crap. They're the crap. They're the shit. No. Like... You might get somebody who fiercely looks out for you. I'm just saying, they're just giving you a heads up. I'm not saying you want that. I'm just saying, like they're not going to hold it against you if you don't. I also got that too, so they're going to, you know, oh, okay, well, that's my life, and they're going to move on. They'll let it go. But if you do, I feel like this is a lot about the power of a positive decision. The other decision feels neutral. I don't feel like if you decide to not, I feel like that's a neutral response, and it's fine. It literally is fine. It's just making this other decision as a positive one. It's up to you. It's totally up to you. There's no wrong decision, the way I'm looking at it from here, from my viewpoint, but they're just kind of saying, when you go forward in this, what do you want your world to contain? What do you want your outcome to be? Because putting more positive energy out brings more positive energy back in. Putting neutral energy out just keeps everything where it is. If you put out neutral, you stay neutral. Everything stays neutral. If you put out positive energy, it's like you're putting more effort in, you get more effort back. I don't know. Sometimes I just get people that they don't want to hear it, and I don't know why. I mean, but it's a general read. You don't want to hear it, stop watching the video. So that's how we solve that. All right, anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.